let's just hit this story quickly, which is the combined wealth, this is according to Oxfam, of the world's 85 richest people is equal to the 3.5 billion poorest people.
It's fantastic. And this is a great thing because it inspires everybody, gets the motivation to look up to the 1% and say, I want to become one of those people. I'm going to fight hard to get up to the top. This is fantastic news, and of course I applaud it. What can be wrong with this?
Really?
Yes, really.
So somebody living on
I celebrate capitalism.
$1 a day in Africa is getting up in the morning and saying, I'm going to be Bill Gates.
That's the motivation everybody needs.
Only thing between me and that guy is motivation. I just need to pull up my socks. I don't have socks.
Look, don't tell me that you want to redistribute wealth again. That's never going to happen. Okay?
You know what? You take a simple stat like this, which is neither good nor bad. It's just a fact.
It's a celebratory stat. I'm very excited about it. I'm wonderful to see it happen. I tell kids every day, what's wrong with this?
Up at a cocktail party.
No, Amanda, what's wrong with this statement?
One possible response to it.
If you work hard, you might be stinking rich.
We're talking about people in extreme abject poverty. That's how you get 3.5 billion.
No, we're not. You were just talking about really rich people.
We are anonymous, and we have a solution. We represent 99% of the Earth's human population. When the actual number of the other 1% is considered, those who we do not represent, but who control almost every aspect of our lives, their number is more than 70 million. We represent every other human upon Earth. We, despite being the overwhelming majority, have no power over our own lives. We do not have equality in life. We do not have equal liberty. We do not have equal means and opportunities afforded to us to pursue our individual happiness. We are not socialists or capitalists, yet we support the right of every human who has been born on this earth, by no choice of their own, to have their basic necessities provided free of charge throughout their life. We are not religious, yet we support the right to believe, as long as the belief of one does not negatively affect the belief of another. We are not rich, yet we support the right to pursue wealth, as long as the pursuit of economic security is afforded equally to all, regardless of class, opportunity, or natural selection, where the strongest survive. We are the weak. We are the downtrodden. We are the meek of the earth. We do not feel that we have a voice in our government, not because we do not choose to voice our desires, but because our government only offers us choices that it has appointed for us. Our choice for government officials has always been from the pool of the 1%. America's two-party political system has corrupted democracy and limited our ability to choose candidates who actually represent our needs and wants. We want change, real change. For hundreds of years, we've heard the same political rhetoric during every campaign. We are now more educated and informed than at any other time in Earth's history. We know what we want. We want our voices to be heard. We want the majority to rule and have power in government, as a true democracy demands. Real change can only be accomplished if the majority creates and offers its own solutions. Solutions that perhaps the 1% status quo has never heard nor considered. In the past, our complaints, our protests, our movements, our demand for change have been without viable solutions. They have produced nothing but fear, division, hate, and more prejudice. The more we push against them, the more they push against us. What we desire cannot be accomplished by one person. It cannot be done by protest, nor movement, nor organization. It must be done by using and complying with what has been established among us, the law of the land, democracy, the voice of the majority. We must be unified. We must remain undivided. We must remain equal. We must have courage. And to protect each of us as we stand against the power of the 1%, we must remain anonymous. We have established a new political party called the Humanity Party. Our party's platform offers the solutions to our current problems, beginning with the introduction of a new constitution. Governments operate from constitutions. A constitution is a body of fundamental principles and established standards according to which a united group of people is to be governed. But the people, as a majority, must agree on the principles and standards by which they are governed. 200 years passed in American history before a group of people first met together and considered writing a different constitution for and by the people. In 1787, a convention convened to write a constitution, not by the will and for the sake of the 99%, but by the will and for the sake of the 1%. By 1987, the world had changed drastically. Politicians, lawyers, and judges had interpreted the original Constitution and established laws that supported the desires and needs of the 1%, disenfranchising the majority. For example, a law was established that gave a money entity, a corporation, many of the same rights afforded to a person. This was an act that benefited the 1% and negatively affected the majority. This act was, however, legal and lawful because the original Constitution gave this legislative power and authority to Congress, lawyers, and judges. The original Constitution provided the legal authority to establish inhumane laws. Because representatives of the 1% were those who wrote the original Constitution, it contained many inhumane laws that eventually needed to be overturned by amendment. Amendments can alter a constitution. But if the Constitution in and of itself is a flawed tapestry from the beginning, then any alteration will only weaken the original strength of the cloth from which it was made. The Constitution must be completely revised and rewritten to reflect the true purpose for which it exists, to provide a body of fundamental and established standards according to the needs and wants of the majority of people. The current Constitution states, Article 5, Amendment, quote, "The Congress, whenever 2/3 of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to this Constitution, or, on the application of the legislatures of 2/3 of the several states, shall call a convention for proposing amendments, which, in either case, shall be valid to all intents and purposes as part of this Constitution, when ratified by the legislatures of 3/4 of the several states, or by conventions in 3/4 thereof, as the one or the other mode of ratification may be proposed by the Congress," unquote. Again, the original cloth by which the tapestry that makes up the current Constitution was flawed. One of these glaring flaws is the ill-proportional representation of the people and the power that just one state might possess in governing the majority, even though that one state might have very few people living in it. An example of one of these many flaws is that the current state of California, which did not nor was ever accounted for in the current original Constitution, has almost 40 million people, but only 2 senators who represent their interests. The people of California might hold more liberal beliefs, desires, needs, and wants than 13 other Western states. But the population of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, South Dakota, and North Dakota together do not equal as many people as those who live in California. Yet these 13 conservative states have 26 senators. The will of California's 2 liberal senators who represent the majority will never pass a law to which the more conservative 26 senators who represent the minority do not agree. The United States has never been united. Every social conflict that America has ever experienced began because one state disagreed with another.